where you see people being oppressed and murdered and all this stuff with buildings being dilapidated everywhere you go, the United States or some European nation is the cause behind that. That's really the truth, because you all subscribe to that same white supremacy, that our white skin makes us where we're better than people that doesn't have white skin. And you are so infested with that thought in your mind that you have the nerves to say, how dare any of these people even have the audacity to challenge that? And that's your problem that you have with me. Because I come out and I tell you the truth. I say, you know what, don't be sitting up walking around here with all this highfalutin Jesus shit when you guys are really nothing but criminals. Your whole nation goes around the world into the land of other people and force your way on them through your military. And then once you do that, the next thing you know, you pushing your damn Bible around. And that is the truth. Everywhere you've gone over the planet, I can even take you to Hawaii right now. And if we go to Hawaii, the first thing you're going to do is see churches up everywhere that's glamorizing the perpetuation of white man is God. And then every shelter that you go around there is a shelter that's opened by some community center. Where before the white man got there, they didn't have no need for shelters. See, that's what I'm saying. Before you white people went to Hawaii, they had no need for no shelters, because there was no such thing as people being homeless, because they always had places that was built where if anybody needed somewhere to sleep, they just went to the community tent and slept there. And they didn't call them people being homeless. They had a home. They had a community home where they all shared in a place together, where they all knew they could run there and sleep to stay out of the rain, or to stay warm, or around someone that had food for them and stuff like that. You people come in everywhere you go and set up your centers after you destroy that. There's a common ground, a common thing for everyone to have. After you destroy that from their communities, you open them up for yourselves in the name of your God, that you be the person that can distribute any type of charity to anyone, and you discourage it, that anyone else try to do that. Just like I showed you in the picture with the guy who was out there trying to serve food in the park, and he had the white man that was trying to serve food in the park and actually got arrested and put in jail. So on the common average, it's not all white people that's Jesus freaks. Okay, it's a lot of people that say that they are Christians, but they don't really want to get down to the whole sustainment that only Jesus could be God, and they go and deal with that because that's a part of the normality of thought conceptualization around most of the people there. But I'm sure it's a lot of Christians who would tell you, well, yeah, I believe that there is a whole lot of need for purification in this establishment, this cult, if you will, could have some cultural improvement, because right now we have a history that's demonstrated slavery and abuse to you melanated people. And me knowing that, I cannot sit around and call myself really spiritual or godlike, knowing that I am a part of an establishment that has utilized these type of tactics and has not been held accountable for, which means that probably is still utilizing it. See, that type of rationalizing is what's missing from your whole equation as a culture of people, because you want to go on forever without having to answer to the crimes you committed against us as a people, which means that your next step would be to try to evaluate yourselves as being real sound-minded at building concentration camps and just getting us off the earth completely, because after all, you should be able to do that because you're white and you got your white Jesus. And so that's the whole catch. I believe that it's important that I point out to everyone, with what few seconds of the game we have left, that there's not much time left for people to think that you don't have to be serious, about getting your thing together, because you do. Because the universe is not going to allow you much more freedom of not having to feel the agony that you make me feel every day. That's the reason why the whole rest of the country is in distress. and feeling God's wrath and the bad weather the way they are, because that's the way that the people on the earth is feeling at the hands of you Caucasian people. You know, you all know that you have put so much energy into restraining and collapsing the economy of other people, and so now it's time for it to just come back full scale to everyone else. And you guys don't want to be honest with yourselves, and you don't want to be hearing no one say anything about it. So the first thing you do is you come up with a whole bunch of methods to make sure that people don't do well. That's what you do. And that is a real criminal act. It's a dirty, low-life criminal act. And someone needs to tell you guys, if it wasn't for you guys doing this forever, there would be no need for someone to come out and point it out to you. It's like little children that is trying to do wrong, and then when the parent find out that you've done this, you want to be the one who kick your feet and scream out loud and poot and fart, you know, and fart out on the ground, and I ain't gonna get up. And all that foolishness. And then you got people afraid to want to help one another. Afraid you're going to lose your job, or afraid this is going to go. And this is just what's really bad. You know, it's all really bad. And I've been down here trying to tell everyone, you know, I want you all to know something. I have been sent here by the sun to talk to everybody down here on this planet, and to let y'all know all this weather that's going on and happening, it's not just going on and happening for the hell of. As you see, I was saying the other 2 days ago that, okay, the season's going to change. It's getting ready to start raining. I don't even know why I said it, but I said it, and look what happened. It's raining 2 days later. All right, here goes. 2 days later, it's been raining. The next day, the clouds moved in. And like I was trying to say to you guys, you need to really, really watch what you do, because you're going to sit here and keep trying to think that the foolish paradigm that you just saw the world being with that Jesus and all that crazy stuff is really the way things work. And it is not the way things work. The way things work is that God and the Son is the same God that's in the trees. It's the same God that's in you. It's the same God that's in me. It's the same God that made the God. It's the same God that made the goddess. Alright? It's the same bark on the tree that is the soil that the bark is embedded in. All that is this God essence. This same God spirit is what's inside of me, being able to give me the voice that you hear. That's the same spirit that gives you the sound that the bird makes. It's the same spirit that makes the sweet smell of honey, that made the stink that's in shit. It's the same God spirit that made the up, that made the down. The same God spirit that made wet and made dry. It's the same God spirit that made, hot and that's made cold. It's the same God spirit that made dry or oily. Or, you know, all the things dry or wet. All the different manifestations of the molecules. From a solid to a liquid to a vapor. All these changes of materialism or the molecule structures is all implemented, come from thought vibrations of our supreme creator. Alright? All of the demonstrations of life are all based on the fact that things are supposed to be in conjunction with generating life. You Europeans come out here and come out with methods of eradicating life, and have the nerves to get mad when other people come at you and say to you, do you know what you're doing? You're going to make us all be dead if you don't stop your behavior. All this selfishness and this hoarding and all this war and all these drugs and all this promiscuity and all these cigarettes and all this alcohol and all this foolish shit that you guys have brought on the earth, it's making everybody be decayed and making everyone die. And then you guys selfishly hoard every damn thing. As when you see somebody needing something because of your hoarding and because of your deprivation, you have the nerves to put your hands on your hip and act like somebody's doing something wrong, so you can cover up the fact that you know who's really doing all the doing. Now we all know that. I can show you pictures of you here hanging, the native people that's here hanging yourselves, and I can show you with your guillotines. I can show you with your chopping blocks. I can show you with your corrupt ass court system who just let that rent-a-cop get away with killing Trayvon. All right, Trayvon Martin was just murdered by the same old corrupt ass bullshit Christian fake government Jewish policy of corruption that's been murdering us. The same Vietnam War, World War I, World War II, this war right now that I tell you we all need to stop by all working together and understanding that there's something wrong with war and that there should not be people persecuted because they come out and tell us we need to stop warring so much. All right? All this foolishness that's going on is the reason why I've came so far to talk to you all and let you know that this is not a joke. This son is seriously... Do you think I want to be saying stupid shit to Bruce Willis, Hollywood celebrities and stuff like that? Why would anybody want to take on something like that and have to say things like that loud and boldly in public? Well, let me tell you why. Because I work for the Sun, and there's nothing timid about the Sun. Okay, it says what it needs to say, and that's that. It does what it needs to do, and that's that. Okay, because that's how the Sun gets down. But see, the thing about me is that you might see this flesh as being who I am, but it's not. I am the Son. I keep telling you that. I keep trying to tell you all that. And I want you all to recognize the fact that there is no time for me to not tell you how things are and get straight to the point. Because just like I was saying to you guys, 1 million people are going to die. The bus going to flip over. All that stuff is the Sun saying that stuff to me. And when I tell you that the Sun is what makes it happen, but it wants you to know that it's doing it before it do it. Otherwise, you just won't understand what's going on. And it's saying, so I got my eye on you. I see all you conspiring and everything you want to do. But remember, you did that anyway. Before my prophet was saying anything to anyone, you had already started setting him up. And that's what really made him start saying stuff. Because that's how you guys get down. You always do that. All the time. And I see these little ships flying all around in here all the damn time, you know. I really do. They're amazing. They are amazing. I can even meditate. And I said one time when I came back, I was that light for 2 hours. For 2 whole hours, I was those lights. I had came back home and was walking around in this house, and I still was feeling like those lights. I could still see them in my eyes, the brightness of them in the beautiful colors. Even though I was here, I had returned already. And I could be in this bed and be in the kitchen at the same time. I really can. It comes on voluntarily. I don't even have to do it. It just does it. It really does. It does. It's like I learned all this stuff in another life. And that's what really killed me about the people here, because you all are so unaware and so dull-witted. And when someone comes along that can move you to a higher state of consciousness, you want to kill them. Because you just love being in all this stagnant garbage. And I don't try to be mean, but it's the truth. It's stagnant garbage. Anytime you could be my age and find it so hard to provide for yourself, I know it's because these corporations is taking everything away from everyone. And they're going to murder everyone just like they did in World War II. You can see it all coming. But you all are so dull-witted. You're going to sit around to the last minute where you can't do anything else.